The National Dialogue Committee has agreed to factor in the cost of living as a thematic area in its bipartisan discussions. Speculation was rife that the 10-member committee comprising Kenya Kwanza and Azimio coalition associates had failed to agree on the inclusion of the cost of living in their engagement during the submission process. Maryanne Nyambura reports on the start of 5-day report writing retreat.
The 5-day retreat for the National Dialogue Committee to write a final report on the outcomes of the bipartisan talks commenced Monday in Elementaita, Nakuru, with 6 members of the committee resuming the discussions.
The
Kimani Ichung'wah and Kalonzo Musyoka-led team finally agreed to adopt a proposal by the Azimio coalition members to include the agenda on the cost of living in its list of thematic areas. The committee had failed to agree upon this issue during the submission stage. It will now be a priority for the committee.
We have started tackling the difficult question on the cost of living this afternoon. We have resolved that beginning early next week, because this very difficult issue of the cost of living is not an issue that we can negotiate on and agree on in one sitting. And we have therefore resolved that beginning next week, we shall be inviting a number of experts to help us to crack the numbers.
It is in the framework agreement that we adopted when we first began that as we progress with our deliberations, we may want to recall some experts, we may want to involve a call expert opinion.
The committee members who are writing a report on its findings for the next 5 days, after engaging different stakeholders in submitting their views, say the new developments will not interfere with the report writing process. But the committee says it's concerned about the budget available to continue its engagement.
Since last week, we did get the extension approval by both Senate and the National Assembly. Therefore, we have another 30 days from the 28th of October to the 27th, 28th of November. And we will endeavor to be able to conclude on this process long before then.
We know that Kenyans across the political divide are feeling the heat of gharama ya maisha. And I want to assure Kenyans that we are dealing with it head on.
The Azimio team says its mission to de-whip Sabina Chege as the deputy minority whip is still on course.
The issue of delayed communication on the changes we have proposed is of such concern that it might form part of the agenda when the House resumes tomorrow.
The committee agreed upon issues raised on the reconstitution of the IEBC selection panel, the creation of an office for the Prime Cabinet Secretary, and the opposition leader, issues on 2/3 gender rule, and now the cost of living, among others. Kenyans await to see if the report will capture the aspirations presented by various groups, whether it will be beneficial to them, and how it will shape the country's political landscape moving forward. Maryanne Nyambura, Citizen TV.